Alright guys, so this is an update to the no Uber Abattoir Observer build. This is cleared so far tier 11. You know, spoilers for the little mini series thing that I'm doing. But yeah, it's cleared tier 11 and it is an absolute monster. It is an infinite stun where you get to keep firebolt. So usually infinite stun is, you know, chain lightning plus lightning spear in the enchantment slot, but doing this method lets you keep the enchantments as firebolt, chain lightning, and then you can instill infinite stun with lightning spear without casting it yourself. So let's get into the build though, so I can explain more. All right, guys, I'm trying to get to bed here, so we're gonna make this really quick because it's like 3 in the morning. But like, I just had this thought come to me about how to make Infinite Stun and Chain Lightning and Fireball all kind of work together because, you know, Infinite Stun you need to have Chain Lightning and Lightning Spear be your enchantment slots. Then you lose out on Firebolt, right? And that's like a lot of damage. With this method here, and I don't know if anybody's done this before. Okay, it came to my brain. I would assume somebody's tried it, but it works really well for the Abattoir. Um, like I said, so far our highest one is tier 11, but I'm not sure how far it will go. It's getting a little difficult even with this method, but that's fine. Let's get into the build though. Um, let's see. It's the same as the other build. We got the same helmet with Aspect of Might on it. All stats, total armor, max life, cooldown reduction, Mage Lord on the armor. My armor isn't the way it should be. That damage reduction from distance should just be damage reduction, but this is what I got. So this is what we've been using. Lightning critical strike damage on the gloves should probably be lucky hit chance. But again, this is what I got. So this is what we're using. We got attack speed, crit chance, lightning critical strike damage, and then up to 5% chance to restore 21% primary resource, which that doesn't proc very often, but it's there just in case. This is different than before. Before I was using the Balt's Will pants, but we are just like a little bit too squishy. So we are using Ever Living on some pants here. That's got max life damage reduction from close, and again, that damage reduction from distant should probably be damage reduction from burning. But again, this is what I got. Right? I know I could go on like Diablo trade and find something different, but you know, we're just scrapping together what we got here. And then we're using Pentient Greaves to be able to apply chill to our enemies. Gravitational on the dagger with all stats, intelligence, mastery skill damage, and damage to close. Mastery skill damage to close, I said it in the other video, it can be like, you know, critical strike damage instead of damage to close or something, right? Like, it doesn't really matter, it's flat additive damage. But all stats intelligence matters a lot, actually, especially all stats. Amulet wise, we got disobedience on the amulet. This is still the same. I'm going to change one of these probably as we get higher up in the tiers. It needs to probably be a damage reduction. So either mastery skill damage needs, or mastery skills, or devouring blaze needs to go. But anyway, Talrasha's ring, of course, where we took off the vampiric power, which we'll get to that in a second. So we're only getting 45% multiplicative damage from Talrasha's right now, but it's worth it in my opinion. And then this is where the magic's at. We have stable on the ring. We had, what was it, the recharging on here to regen our mana. I've learned that that's not really an issue. This right here is, while Unstable Currents is not active, your shock skills have a 12% chance to trigger a free cast from it. So what this does, what we're going to use it for, hold on, let's concede it on the focus with, you know, a bunch of good shit on it, all right? Let's go over to the skill tree. So if we put 1 point in a lightning spear and come down here to lightning spear stuns enemies for 2.2 seconds when critically striking. Okay, so this is how infinite stun usually works. If you come down here, unstable currents. If you read it, whenever you cast a shock skill, a random core, conjuration, or mastery shock skill is also cast. So essentially what this does, you cast ball lightning so fast and so frequently that it will definitely cast lightning spear, right? And 12% is pretty high because you're also casting chain lightning. So you're getting a double, essentially when you press whatever button, you have two 12% chances. So 24% chance out of 200%, however you want to word it. Like, it's actually way higher of a chance than you think it would be. And these things just zip around and stun everything. So you essentially perma-stun literally everything. Now that we're done with the explaining about how the permanent stun part works, back to the vampiric powers. Domination. So you deal 24% multiplicative. I don't know, this could be bugged because, you know, it's Blizzard. Increase damage to enemies who are stunned, which they'll be stunned, immobilized, frozen, or feared. And if they're also injured and not an elite, they're instantly killed. So that helps with the, I need to actually put on, I don't know why that's not like that. What am I missing here? I think it's, okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart. So this helps with speed because all of the little guys will just like, they'll be stunned and you get them to 30% and they'll just instantly die. Those little bitty bits of time add up. And then all of these are the same. We got Metamorphosis and Prey on the Weak and Cursed Touch and Ravenous. These three are pretty much to keep them constantly vulnerable. This to grant us Unstoppable. And Ravenous to give us attack speed for, what is it? Up to, yeah, attack speed. Sorry, it's late. Okay, let's go over the rest of the skill tree. This is the same. We got one in a Firebolt, so we can put it in the enchantment, one in a Frostbolt, so we can use it as our basic to trigger our might and to get our damage for Talrash's Ring and the Elementalist glyph. And then we got the Chain Lightning, and then the one that makes crackling energy, which is super important. We now have one into Devastation to get 3 into Elemental Dominance, because we took off Glass Cannon because we're taking too much damage. Survivability is an issue. There's no sense in using Glass Cannon for that 18% multiplicative damage. That's a lot, but like at the same time, we want to tone down the damage that we are taking. And then we still have Flame Shield, Teleport with the one that gives us damage reduction when we teleport, and the one that gives us mana cost reduction with the Flame Shield. Still using Frost Nova. We remove the one that makes enemies vulnerable because they'll always be vulnerable anyway, so this was just a waste of a node. Still the one we're killing a frozen enemy, or killing enemies frozen by Frost Nova will reduce its cooldown though. And then of course the Lightning Spear with the invoked Lightning Spear to make everything stunned. And then we got Mana Shield Protection, both of those maxed out there. Devouring Blaze, down here to Wizard's Ball Lightning, and then Invigorating Conduit. This is where all of our mana regen comes from. Hoarfrost, that we have Hoarfrost on because of the Pentient Greaves. The Pentient Greaves chill them, and that'll give us 9% or 18% increased multiplicative damage, and it also does something else. We'll get to that in a second when we get to the Paragon board. Unstable Currents. Coursing Currents, we took 2 points out of Conduction, so we have less movement speed. That's pretty much how we afforded to get Lightning Spear. And then Electrocution, and then of course Veer's Mastery, because that's how we get our damage reduction from Mage Lord. Over to the Paragon. Elementalist in the starting board, we've grabbed literally everything except for this non-physical damage and this non-physical damage. We grabbed all the important stuff, including all the max life. The max life super important because our life total is a little low, but that's okay. Coming up through here, reinforced in here. We come up here because this one has the life total, or the damage to elites would be nice, but the extra percentage to life is really nice up here, so we go for that. Come over here. This is, by the way, this is Enchantment Master. This one is Burning Instinct. Same as before. We took 1 point out of the armor because my armor was perfectly fine without it. I'm capped out anyway. And this is where we have the new node, the Tears of Blood node. We come down through here. This is where things are a little funky. So I had taken this board off, but we've re-added it. But okay, hold on. We'll get into it here. So we come down through here. We get these damage reduction from vulnerable enemies because all the enemies will pretty much constantly remain vulnerable. So this is all just good damage reduction from straight. It pretty much just reads damage reduction. We come down through here. We grab Frigid Fate for that 21% multiplicative damage. We re-added that from earlier. Come down through here, and we have Adept in here with just enough to get where we need to get, right? Then we come down here. And we grab this damage reduction from vulnerable enemies. So this is another, what is that? 9% damage reduction from vulnerable enemies. This appears more. Then we come over this way. And this is why also the chilled matters. We have a bunch of damage reduction from chilled enemies here. I need to get my board sorted, apparently. I thought I was at this. I've been missing out on 6% damage reduction. But this is damage reduction from chilled enemies. We grab all this, then we have destruction in here because all of the these nodes are, what are these? The dexterity nodes are right about here. And then the last board is static surge, of course, and we actually have changed these over to here to do damage to stunned enemies. To grab these since we're doing damage to stun. There's no way we're going to be able to get this rare node or this rare node, but we still grab them because they're big chunks. And then we have Flame Feeder in here. I was using Territorial, but I needed a little bit more damage. As time goes on, we might have to go back to Territorial for the damage reduction, but for now, this is fine. I'm going to go ahead and upload this video before I get the build planner put together because this is something I just built on the spot. But expect about 15 minutes after the video gets uploaded, there should be a build planner available. I'm going to actually do it on D4 Builder, though, because I'm not using Ubers, and I have a friend that I want to show it to, and he's a console pleb and doesn't have a computer. And max roll sucks for that. But I appreciate anybody who watched. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that generic YouTube shit. And everybody have a fantastic rest of your day. It's actually 3 in the morning, so rest of your night if you're watching at that time.